What do you get when you purchase local business micro agency? This is not just a recorded video course. It is a live 4 session workshop that we're going to do together on Zoom. And we're going to work through the basic steps to get you from somebody who knows how to copyright but doesn't really have an offer to somebody who has their first agency clients that they can serve in just a few hours a month and has a lot more space in their calendar now to stack on some more clients without spending morning to night every day writing like crazy. Who's this workshop for? Well, this workshop is for any copywriters like me or like Nabil who are looking to add and stack on extra skills to what they're already doing so they can serve a broader range of customers and have more unique offering and develop more demand for their service. In particular, it's for people who want to serve local businesses, local service business like I do. Great market, evergreen demand. They're out there everywhere in your local area and in other countries too, and you can reach them easily. It's not the blood red competitive marketplace that hardcore direct response is. It's a lot easier to serve these clients and get good results. What is the outcome of attending this workshop? When you come to this workshop, I'm going to teach you how I get local business clients, how I set up the ads for them to generate good results and bring in leads, and how I build a relationship with them so I retain them and they stick around for a long term. Cool. My name is John Caprani. I'm a copywriter, marketer, and advertiser, and I've been active in online marketing for about 6 years now. The reason I've focused on working with people in home service industries is I come from that background. I was a woodworker and then a construction project manager. By the end of my construction industry career, I was running construction services business for other people and managing projects, selling fit outs for luxury resort homes and all kinds of things like that, and learning sales and marketing through the lens of working in that industry. And at a certain point, I decided I wanted to move out of that industry and get into marketing full time. But obviously, I've got a natural affinity for people in this space. They often don't trust marketing people, so they love to talk with somebody who can speak their language and understands what they're about. And local business is, for me, I find it easy to have a lot of impact and help them get good results. And it makes a huge difference. You know, it's not adding another zero to somebody's bank account. It's helping somebody in a local area to grow a real business. And they're actually usually employing other people. So there are knock-on positive effects to doing this kind of work. What's the earning potential of these kind of local service business clients? Typically, my clients are in the UK and the United States. Depending on the size of the business, you can charge anywhere from $500 up to $5,000 per client per month. Typically, though, the range I'd see is somewhere between $750 and $1,500 per client per month. Will you be able to apply this in your local market, depending on where you live? Yes, it's possible to do it depending on where you live. Now, some countries it's going to be harder than others. For example, if you live in Dubai, every business owner has internet access, is looking to promote themselves, probably has access to a credit card, and it's easy to sign up business owners in that local market. If you're living somewhere where there's less credit card penetration, like Pakistan, might be a little trickier to do that. You might have to rely more on your personal in-person networking skills, and you might have to get the business owners to take a little bit of a leap of faith in. But certainly it is possible. There are people advertising and running agencies in those marketplaces. The demand for these kinds of services is universal. It's just a matter of who you're targeting. Typically with home services, you're targeting middle and upper class people in terms of the customers that they're ultimately that you're advertising to. And then the business owners themselves are going to be serving that upper and middle class in their local area. Even if you don't come from those countries, serving customers in the UK, in the USA, Australia, or other kind of tier one, like global market countries, is totally possible living in other places. Will local business advertising and marketing be disrupted by AI in the near future? It's difficult to say. I think it's fairly unlikely. The type of businesses that I tend to work with, they're fairly low tech. They're people who are into making stuff, outdoorsy types that like building with their hands or going out and doing stuff, things like landscaping, installing air conditioning systems, doing roofing work, or building barns. These aren't people who like sitting on a laptop all day. So your value to them is not just the idea of like, oh, I can be replaced by AI because they're going to start using AI. These people don't want to sit at a computer. What they want to do is pay somebody else to figure out all this computer crap for them so they can get on with running business. They don't want to know. It's a necessary evil to them a lot of the time, but they know they have to do it. How good of a copywriter or marketer do you need to be to get results for local business clients? Not that good. I'm an okay copywriter. I'm fairly experienced. I'm not like, I'm not way Lester. I'm not top tier. I'm not $100 million or a $3 trillion copywriter or whatever these other Yahoo claims are out there. I'm, a working copywriter who uses copywriting as a fundamental tool to make a living online. But I'm certainly not going to compare myself with big names like Mike Pavlish, Chris Haddad, or Stefan Georgi. I don't need to be. In local business markets, you're typically competing with like really, really bad local agencies or somebody who's paid their brother or their cousin or one of their kids to do the advertising for them, and they don't have a clue. If you have a solid level of competence, which if you're in the Beals program, you have that as your baseline, you're going to be fine. The main thing is getting used to selling people on the idea of getting you to run their advertising and trusting you with their marketing budget more than just paying you a fee. That's a little bit of a new thing for copywriters to do. And then it's also actually just understanding how to run the ads in a safe and careful way. That means you don't like blow up and spend all your clients' money in the first 5 days in a month and have nothing to spend for the rest. But it's fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. Facebook advertising is getting easier and easier to do with every passing year. If you've gotten to be the teacher and you've covered your fundamentals and he's telling you, yes, you are capable of getting a client at that stage, you're also capable of doing advertising for your clients. So how easy is it to set up and run Facebook ads campaigns for local business clients? You're going to have to be competent as a copywriter. You're also going to have to basically be able to know how to use Facebook, do some basic copy and pasting and follow some instructions. It's not that complicated. It's a little nerve-wracking the first few times, but you soon get familiar with it. I don't do really fancy campaign setups. There's not a lot to do with coding or Pixel or any of that stuff. It's fairly straightforward. I run the same setups again and again. I don't have to do fancy advanced strategies to get results. We're targeting a small local area. We're typically selling a service that's well understood. It's not like some completely brand new product that's just hit the market for the first time. People know what an air conditioner is. They know what a barn looks like. They know what a landscape garden looks like. It's not that complicated. All you need is have a competent level of copywriting and to be able to give your clients some direction on how they actually just set up and record the video scripts that you're going to write. And then I use AI in my process as well. I use AI to help me do my research. I use AI to help me write the scripts. And I use AI tool called Descript to help me actually edit the video footage that the clients record for me. And it's all pretty easy. Like, I'm not a good video editor. I couldn't edit a video without the script. It just, hard work for me. And then doing the Facebook ad stuff, it's, you just follow a to-do list. The key thing with the Facebook ads nowadays is to say no to all the silly AI suggestions Facebook gives you to try and make you spend money. How easy or difficult is it for me to get results for clients? So here's what I've found. If a client has enough self-confidence and self-belief to get on camera and be a spokesperson for their business, I can almost always get them good results. If they are not willing, and this has become a hygiene standard for me, if they are not willing to get on camera and be a representative for their own business, a spokesperson for their own business, I usually can't get many results at all. That's now my key screening thing when I speak to new people. Are you prepared to be the spokesperson for your business, stand in front of the camera and record it? If they say yes to that, you're going to have a good time with that client. If they don't want to do it, it's typically lack of confidence and self-belief. And that's probably someone you want to walk away from and not work. So why is now an ideal time for copywriters to start bringing on some local business clients? Well, there's a bunch of things. I think we've seen what's happening the last couple of years with AI in terms of making it really, really hard on things like job boards and to get gigs. Top people in the industry are a lot more productive than they used to be. They can actually scoop up a lot more of the available client work. There's a lot more agencies out there where people are enabled by AI. And the online, like strictly online selling coaches and consulting and all that kind of stuff, that marketplace has gotten harder to break into, especially if you're not a well-known person. And if in your local area or doing local business advertising, these people are not aware, they don't care about A-list copyright. They don't even know this stuff exists. They just have a problem to solve. They want more leads for their business. If you can offer them a solution to that, where you'll consistently get them leads at a price that's affordable and makes sense for them, then it's a pretty easy yes. And the offer is fairly low priced. So any business that's, give an example, if you're getting a business owner and you're going to sell them on a very simple basic ads package where you're going to charge them $1,000 a month for ads management, plus they're going to have to spend $3,000 ad budget, $4,000. Any business owner that's generating more than about $150,000 to $200,000 a year is going to be easily able to say yes to that without too much hesitation. And for a local business that's well established, that has like 3 to 4 employees, pretty much all of them are going to be in that category. So, especially if you're serving UK, US, or Dubai markets. So really, it's just a matter of like selecting who you sell to and, telling them it's a low risk service, showing them some of the results you've got for others. And it's a fairly easy yes for them to take a chance on. Now, also, you probably want to hear some of the examples of results I've been able to get for clients. So give a couple of examples. I've been working with a HVAC air conditioning company the last couple of months. And we've so far spent about, this is in British pounds, we spent about £3,000 on generated over £20,000 in new business for them. So they're super happy with that. That's new clients brought into their world that they didn't have otherwise. And plus, we've been really saturating their local area with awareness advertising as well as lead generation advertising. And now the owner of the business is getting recognized everywhere he goes. People are making jokes, calling in the celebrity when he shows up at social events. And he is loving that as a person too. He's feeling recognized and valued more than he ever has been before. So there are multiple benefits to this, both for the business owner, just in terms of direct lead generation and awareness and brand building in their local area. Give you another example. There's a client of mine I was working with last year who went away for a while and then recently deactivated. And they came on last month. They are out in Colorado in the United States, and they build barns. They build agricultural storage barns and barns for horses. In the last month, since we got started probably about 35 days ago, we've generated them. I think they've spent about a total of about $5,000-$6,000. We've generated over 120 leads for them. Their typical sale is about $40,000, and they've closed over $210,000 in new business with simple ads where the founder of the business sitting at her desk in her office with a little tripod on the desktop, speaking into the camera and reading the script that I wrote. Very simple 1 to 2 minute scripts, nothing fancy. It's really that simple. And so if you choose businesses that have a good ticket price, typically I like a business with a $3,000 plus ticket price, and you work with founders who have self-belief and confidence and are willing to stand in front of a camera, you are going to be able to get results for them. Are you going to need additional technology to service local business clients? Yes. The first thing you're going to need is a Go High Level subscription, which costs $97 a month at a basic level. That'll let you serve up to 3 clients. And you get a 2-week free trial with Go High Level. You can get your first client and use some of the money from that first client to buy your first month of Go High Level subscription, and you get the first 2 weeks free anyway. And then after you get 3 clients, you have to spend a little bit more. You have to upgrade your subscription. Second, I recommend you get is a subscription to Descript, which is an AI-empowered video editing software. That's the one I like. There are other ones that like that. The TikTok one, can't remember the name, but CapCut, and a few others. And they're all good. They can all do the same kind of job. I just like Descript because it's very easy for me to use. I think you can get a basic level subscription. I pay $15 a month for mine. Is there any other subscription costs beyond that? No, there's nothing else beyond those 2 things. You don't have to pay to use the Facebook Ads Manager, and then you can manage everything. Like most of my managing of my clients is done in my little notebook here, but I also use Trello, and that's free. Great thing about Go High Level is Go High Level contains so much software inside of it in one package. You don't need to get a separate email marketing package because it's inside of Go High Level. You can manage your client's social media. You can sell them an add-on package to do their daily social media posts, and you can manage like 6 different social media platforms you can post it with. You can add on Google My Business, reputation management. These are all additional services you can stack onto later. When you get your client onto Go High Level, it's very sticky because you're going to build up a customer database in there. You're going to be able to add on other services to them later on. And they will want to stay with you once you start to build up a good database, and you can offer them other marketing services they'll also pay you. So what do you get when you purchase this local business micro agency program from the deal? Well, this is not just a recorded video course. It is actually a live 4-session workshop on Zoom. We're going to work through the basic steps to get you from somebody who knows how to copyright but doesn't really have an offer, to somebody who has their first agency clients that they can serve in just a few hours a month. First workshop, we're going to talk about how to get a client, your first client. We're going to talk about constructing your offer, something that's easy for a local business owner to say yes to, that makes sense for them, makes sense for you, is relatively easy for you to fulfill, and gives them a lot of value and a low risk so that they can say yes, even if you're not super experienced and don't have a lot of testimonials or goods behind you. We're going to talk about creating organic content that speaks to this type of client, where to write content, where to publish it, and how to basically start to get seen and known for somebody who serves a specific type of local business. Third, we're going to talk about networking, specifically how to do networking online as well as offline, and start building up relationships with new people who may be A, either potentially clients, or B, no potentially clients who they can refer you to. And then the last thing is actually how to generate referrals. So that's going out to people you already know and have relationships with, letting them know what you do and offering incentives to actually help you out. And those can be both in the form of just, appreciation. It can be reciprocal referrals that you can give them too. And then finally, it can be out financially compensating people for sending you new leads to get your first local business client. So our second workshop is going to be on the ads themselves. First off, we have to do an onboarding session with the client. That's where we get a lot of our initial research to write our ads. So we're going to do a 60 to 90 minute call with the client. And I'm going to walk you through how I do that, the type of questions to ask, and how to get them to share what's important about their business to them, what they want to be known for, what their existing customers like and don't like, what people are paying for, what service they want to sell more of. And that is going to, the transcript of that call, which you're going to record on Zoom, is going to become the foundation of the ads you're going to run for the first couple of months. Then we're going to get into actually writing the ads. And the way I write the ads is very much informed by the work of Laurel Portier, who you already have access to her excellent book, his book, Super Duper Profitable Ads. As a member of Nabil's community, the ebook version of that book is available for you to download. And I use a lot of her frameworks and templates for things like our content, the power offers, which is actually Joel Irway invention, and then just simple awareness reels for low daily spend. And we'll set all that up, or we'll do all the writing in this section, and you'll understand how to write the first campaign for your client and the different types of ads that we need to prepare for them. Third section is going to be workshop 3, our tech setup. Now, this is the part that tends to scare the hell out of a lot of people and make them freak out and think, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. You can do this. If you can use Facebook, you can set up an ad account and set up an ad campaign. It's not that difficult. What is annoying with setting up Facebook ads is you get all these notifications screen, you have to do this and enable this special AI feature. And a lot of it is just crap from Facebook trying to get you to spend the maximum amount of money as quickly as possible. I will walk through with you how to set up some really simple ads that do not require you to be super technical, that do not require you to have access to your client's website or do any coding in WordPress or any of that kind of stuff. It's all simple stuff you can do in an hour or two and set up a campaign and get your client going. Once you do this 2-3 times, you'll feel super comfortable with it. Just feel scary the first time you do. I had never run ads before 18 months ago, and now I feel pretty confident running typically I'm running anywhere from sort of 6 to 8 or 9 different ad accounts concurrently and just scanning them all for a few minutes every day to check what's going on. It's not difficult. So beyond the actual Facebook Ads Manager, there's a little bit of other stuff on the back end we have to set up, which is setting up high level or go high level, some people call it, which is a CRM. And that's where all the leads you're going to get for your client are going to come into. And then we need to set up some notifications so that when a new lead clicks on the Facebook ad and fills out the form to say they're interested in your client service, that your client gets a text and email typically giving them the details who that interested person is and advising them to pick up the phone and call them instantly. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. That's very, very important. It's the most important thing you can get your client to do is pick up the phone quickly. And then the last thing is autoresponder email and SMS. So we add on email and SMS to the Facebook ad side so that when somebody fills out the lead form on on Facebook, that they get the actual lead themselves, get the notification, hey, you just made an inquiry about this company. They get a text message, they get an email to reinforce the fact that you've inquired about this service, and now you are going to get a phone call and some outreach from this company. And so you can speak to someone, which is also important because people quickly forget when they fill out a form, and you have to remind them, hey, this is something you expressed interest in. Now we're ready to talk to you, and put the two people together. So that's all might sound like a lot of work. And what I find with these clients is that you do quite a bit of work in month one, but once it's set up, it's easy to copy and paste all your settings from one campaign to the next. And you do most of your work with a client in month one, and then month two, month three, and beyond. A lot of the time, you're just adding on a couple of extra ads here and there. You're checking their campaigns daily to make sure the leads are coming in. And you're having a conversation with them for maybe 15, 20 minutes once a month, just to get a bit of a check-in with them and make sure, keep the relationship going. So that brings us on to section 4, which is retention and client success. And this is really about building up that client relationship, making them happy to work with you, making your service sticky, making them feel like, I need to keep working with this person because they're making my life better, they're making my business work better, and they're taking a bunch of responsibility off my plate. Because that's what clients really pay for. They know they need advertising. They don't want to deal with the hassle of setting up themselves. They don't want to be learning about Facebook ads or setting up all the menus. It scares the crap out of them trying to get into the Facebook ad menu and seeing all these different notifications. What the hell is all this? That's a big value for you as a service provider with the micro agents, is actually taking a lot of that complexity and saying to the client, I'll handle all that. Don't worry about it. You just got call the leads. And that's a key thing for me, I've found with clients, is the quicker you can get them to call the leads, the better the results are for them. Now, for local business owners, you don't know them yet, or maybe some of you do, but generally you'll find that they tend to be busy with 100 different things, and your biggest challenge will be getting them to call the leads. So I have a few different things I do to A, encourage them to call the leads at the beginning, and B, to delegate calling those leads to one of their team as quickly as possible. You want to work with business owners, you have a small team, even if it's 2, 3, or 4 people. That's much better than a business owner who works solo, because once it's delegated to a team member, the leads get called faster and the results for you as an advertiser better. You need to have the client understand how much it costs them to be slow about contacting a lead. I'll walk through that with you as well. And then you want to solicit feedback from clients at least once a month for 20 minutes. It's really a check-in, let them know that I'm thinking about them. They do send them messages throughout the month as well to let them know, just like on a text or in Slack or with a WhatsApp. But I want them to know I'm thinking about them. I care about their business. I want to see them do well and prosper. That's very important. You want to build up that relationship, make them understand that their success is your success, and you're really pushing for them to do. You want their feedback about what's working, what's not working, and what's one of the most valuable things as a copywriter for writing their ads is finding out what surprising things people say on to them, potential clients, because this is huge. This is where you get great ideas for copy, and their next ad is the weird questions people ask them when they pick up the phone, or the strange objections that nobody anticipated coming when they try to sell the product to somebody. And these things are like gold. So this is why you want to talk to the clients regularly. And the other thing is you want to feed their ego. As much as it's important to get them results by generating leads and sending the leads into their business so they can close more sales, another thing that most business owners want, and most entrepreneurs want, is a feeling of being important, a feeling of being recognized. And that's a big thing that I do with the ads that I run for my clients, is that I'm targeting them in a local area. I want the client to not just generate leads, but to be highly, highly visible. And this is why we do a lot of content and awareness ads as well as the lead generation ads, because we want them to be seen everywhere. We want it to be when they go to a social event in their hometown that people are saying, hey, I saw you on Facebook. Hey, I saw you on Instagram. We want it to be a situation where people actually call them. We didn't even click the form in their ad, but say, hey, I keep seeing you pop up on my Facebook feed, so I went and tracked down your website and I got your number there. This is an ideal situation. This is what makes clients feel valuable and important. And I'll teach you a little bit about how to actually get those kind of results for them too. So now that we've gone through all the things that we're going to teach in the 4 live workshops, there's also a bonus, which I briefly mentioned above, and that is a PDF copy of this book called Super Duper Profitable Ads by Laurel Portier. Laurel has previously come in as a guest coach and teacher in the Beals community, and she's very kindly allowed him to distribute her book to all of his students or mentees. And that's available to everybody who comes to these. And it's going to really help you to understand how to run these ads for local businesses. Then as well, we've got a VIP edition of this program, which is a little bit of an upgrade for those who want it, where I'm going to give you some extra personalized help. First thing is I'm going to co-sell your first client with you. I'll actually get on your first sales call with a qualified business owner and sit with you in the sales call, help you close that first deal. Second thing is I'll copy chief your ads for your first client that you close. So you'll go off and write the ads, you'll send them to me and I will review them for you. I'll give you 2 rounds of revisions where I'll show you how to get the messaging right, connect with your client's local audience and speak to their needs and their wants and produce ads that are going to be easy for your client to read on camera and also be effective as getting people to fill out the form and say, yes, I'm interested in this product or service. And then the last thing is to review your campaign setup before you turn it on. A lot of people, when they start advertising, they get very worried about, oh, what happens if I mess this up? What happens if I waste my client's money? What happens if I misspend the budget and I don't get any results? So I'm going to make sure that before you switch on your first ad campaign, I'll review every part of your ad setup from top to bottom. I'll even look in your CRM and GHL, check your settings and make sure that you've got things set up so that when the ads start running, if someone clicks on the ad, that everything works the way it's supposed to, and that you don't have a problem where, for example, stuff is going to the wrong page or people are filling out the form, but the client's not seeing the notifications. But make sure that all that stuff from a technical perspective is working properly so you can switch on the ad campaign and run it with confidence. We've also got some optional add-ons to this short live workshop program. The first optional add-on we've got is a set of my top converting ad scripts. These are the ad scripts that have worked for me for clients over the past 18 months that have worked really, really well and generated lots of leads, combination of some static ads and then some video scripts. And then I'll also share some of my top converting email sequences. These are really simple. The typical email sequence I offer to clients, I typically run from the second month onwards, is mostly the same type of content that we've done in the ads. So it doesn't require a lot of extra work. It's actually the same stuff that's in the ads. And it's just written in a slightly different way to go out in an email. And what it does is just keep your client top of mind with some of the leads who may be in the process or they may not be contacted yet. It helps to improve overall conversion on the campaign. Really simple to do. I typically give my clients a 10 email sequence. I set it up for them inside a Go High Level. It's another way to make the service a bit stickier where the client feels like, okay, well, I'm not just getting my ads done, I'm actually getting a welcome email sequence for all of those leads. And then that can segue into, if you want to, selling your client a monthly newsletter service that people can read after they go through the welcome sequence. And that can be your step 3, something you do in month 3 as an extra service to get more revenue from the client. So these are things that exactly just what worked for my clients already, templatized. And I mean, the key appeals are usually similar because I sell to a variety of different businesses, but in one category, which is home services. So these are people who want to make their home look better, more functional, or want to fix a problem. It's very straightforward stuff. Typical homeowner has typical concerns. So once you see a few of these examples, it won't be hard for you to write similar stuff, no matter whether you're serving a landscaper, an air conditioning installer, a roofer, a fitted wardrobe service, or a kitchen maker. Any of those types of businesses that are doing something to beautify, repair, or upgrade the home. Second add-on, this is something I call a client success interview SOP. So you get great testimonials. Everyone wants their clients to give testimonials, but if you ask a client for just a testimonial, you'll usually get some unusable crap back. And oftentimes clients will say, oh, I don't feel comfortable doing that, or they'll say, yeah, I'll do it for you, and they don't actually do it. So I don't ever ask a client for a testimonial directly. What I typically do is I'll chat to them about what's going on and I use that as a starting point, and I'll capture testimonials that way, or I get them on an interview on video. I don't necessarily talk about testimonials. I just talk about a review of what's going on in the campaign. I have a specific script I follow for that, and then I ask them a specific set of questions, and later on I can turn that into testimonial style content with permission from the client. And I do it in a way that's polite, respectful, make sure that they understand that what is going to get used, but also help me capture what I need to promote myself and get that next client. Last optional add-on is the networking workshops. These are a collection of workshops I've taught over the past 4 or 5 years on how to build your network and create relationships with people in your industry online rather than offline. This became essential for me because I started copywriting online marketing not long before COVID kicked off. And when everyone was stuck in their house, I knew I needed to get more clients if I was going to look after my wife and feed my children. I was like, I need to actually know more valuable people. I need to build some relationships. I don't want to be one of those people who are spamming the DMs, trying to just with cheesy pitches or trying to be sneaky and pretend to be somebody's friend just to try and get business out of them. Because I could see that like turns people right off. So I learned how to go out there on social media, connect to people, build relationships, and actually get people to be my supporters and helpers and reach out to me and want to work with me just through being proactively helpful and providing value to others. Taught a bunch of workshops about this over the years. I'm going to collect them all up into one bundle and share them with Nabil. So if you want to get that add-on as well, that's the last option for this program. So why should you start your local business micro agency now rather than at any other time? Well, if you're a working copywriter, you'll have seen there's a lot of changes in the industry the last 2 years. And copywriting by itself is not really something you can consider a business anymore. It's more of a foundational business skill. But the client doesn't just want copywriting. They want a service that deploys the copies. You can do email marketing, video marketing, and other things. Personally, the offer I like to make to clients is to set up, create, and run Facebook advertising lead generation campaigns for local businesses. And it's straightforward and simple offer. Clients understand the need for it, and serving those local businesses is a lot easier than trying to come up with the N+1 killer hook that converts on cold traffic in a hardcore direct response niche. It just isn't the same level of competition for these local business clients. And the services and offers they sell are well understood. You can be straightforward. It's oftentimes a more ethical type of advertising. It's easier to write straightforward, very ethical ads in these types of local business issues that you can feel super comfortable about. So quick summary of what you're going to get when you come to the local business micro agency program with Nabil and me. We are going to do 4 live workshops where I'm going to walk through how to get a local business client, how to write the ads, how to do the tech setup, how to retain that client. So they stick around for a longer period of time and become profitable, and how you can get recurring revenue from them. You'll also get a bonus copy of Laurel Portier's book, which she's very kindly given to share with his mentees. There are some other upgrades available, which you can have a look at on the page below. So if you are ready to start your own local business micro agency and get local business clients that are easier to get results for, stick around, and generally are just a simpler business that requires less of your time monthly than just constantly writing for copywriting clients all day long, come along to the Start Your Local Business micro agency program that I'll be co-hosting with Nabil in the coming weeks.